Well, welcome to another session of First Reliance Bank's There's More to Banking Than Money, Money Lessons. My name is Joe Sangl, and I'm in partnership with First Reliance Bank to provide personal financial teaching to help you win with your money. I'm the founder of an organization known as I Was Broke, Now I'm Not, and we're passionate about helping you win with your money, to be able to do exactly what you've been put on earth to do, regardless of the income potential. And in the previous sessions, we've talked about the I Was Broke, Now I'm Not ladder, 9 rungs you can climb to financial freedom and to live a fully funded life. In the second session, I taught you about one of the most important tools that help me stay on the ladder. It's what I call a foundational financial fundamental called budgeting, and how to do budgeting that really works. And in this lesson, I'm going to teach about how to kill debt. In fact, we've done surveys of literally thousands and thousands of people. We found out that killing debt is their #1 personal financial goal. It's more important to them than funding an individual dream, a trip, or anything. They want to kill debt. And I'm going to teach in this session, session 3, the debt snowball, how to swiftly eliminate debt. The debt snowball is incredible. It can help you accomplish debt freedom far sooner and more swiftly than you ever thought possible. In fact, I wanted to kind of tie it to the rungs on the I Was Broke, Now I'm Not ladder. I really hope you've downloaded your listening guide that you've been filling in the blank, and we're going to continue to do that in this session. But if you're looking at the listening guide, you can see the ladder there, and you can see that this lesson itself would affect rung number 4, which is eliminating all non-house, non-business debt, and rung number 7, which is pay off house and business debt. That's the 2 rungs that are impacted by this debt elimination lesson. And so here's some facts. The average household can become debt-free, including the house. Including the house. Hear me on this. Even if you haven't bought the house yet, in 7 to 10 years, and free up between $1,250 to $2,000 per month or more in payments. What else could you do with that money? I'm telling you, you can do a lot more things with it than mail it to a bank. And so I'm excited to be able to work with you. Hey, listen, many of us, most of us, I don't know anybody hardly that can just pay cash for a house outright when they start out. And First Reliance can help you with that mortgage and help you get ready with your house and be able to finance that. But man, when you can get free of that and start to save more money, it's incredible. And they can help you with that saving side as well. Think about this. This is incredible. First Reliance has partnered with me to help you win with your money. I think that's incredible, and I'm excited to be a part of it. Hey, if we back out and say without the house, the average household can become debt-free in 12 to 36 months and free up between $500 to $1,250 per month in payments. I want you to be able to free up that money so that you can climb up that I Was Broke, Now I'm Not ladder and live a fully funded life, accomplishing those crazy dreams that you have in your life. So let me tell you how the debt snowball process works. And you can fill in the blanks here as you go. Number 1, determine who you owe and the amount owed. You fill in those capitalized, underlined portion words, who and amount. Determine who you owe and the amount owed. This is very important. If you're going to kill debt, you need to know who you owe and the amount you owe. In fact, I encourage you to go to annualcreditreport.com. This is a website mandated by the federal government that says if creditors are making decisions about you based upon your credit report, you should have free, fair, and unfettered access to your credit report. Now, you won't get your credit score, but you can get your free credit report from the big 3 credit reporting agencies, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. And if you have some old debts that you've not been paying, or you have some debts that have kind of changed names, like they bought and sold it, you can determine who exactly you owe, the amount that they say you owe right now. And it also allows you, by checking annualcreditreport.com, it's absolutely free, it allows you to understand if anybody's committing fraud or identity theft and shows you how to eliminate errors. So it's a key step you should take even if you have very little to no debt. Determine who you owe and the amount owed. The second step is you need to sort your debts from the smallest amount owed to the largest. That's why it's called the debt snowball. The debt snowball is basically, it's built upon this concept of a snowball. When you get that fresh, sticky snow, when we get it In the southern area, you know, we get this sticky snow, and you can kind of take a little snowball and roll it over like 5 or 6 times, and it's a giant snowball. That's exactly what we're going to use to eliminate debt, is that we start with that smallest debt, and as we pay it off, we'll add its payment to the next smallest debt, and by the time we get to our big, huge, seemingly insurmountable debts, we'll have a big payment to hit it with. Sort your debts from the smallest amount owed to the largest, and pay minimum payments on every debt except for that smallest one. Did you hear me on that? Don't pay a little bit extra on every debt. Take them all to minimum payments except for that smallest one. And then attack that smallest one. Sell stuff. Refinance that debt. Attack it. Get a bonus. Get a tax refund. And as each debt is paid off, or as extra money shows up, add, that's the word you would fill in the blank, add its payment to that of the smallest remaining one. And I'm going to show you an example of how that works. But I'm telling you, this is awesome. Like, I got mad and angry at my debt. This was in 2002, December 2nd, 2002. I had what I call an IHHE moment. An I have had enough moment. If you've ever had that with your children, or your parents ever had that with you, you know what I'm talking about. When mama had enough, things changed in our household. And when I had enough with my debt, things changed. And what I did is I used this debt snowball process to eliminate my debt. And so let me show you what I call the debt freedom date calculation. You can pull up the debt freedom date calculator at our website. It's wildly popular at iwasbrokenowimnot.com. And you can click on tools, and they're just located right there. And you can pull up the debt freedom date calculator. And what you do is you type in all the debts from the smallest amount you owe to the largest. As you can see here on the screen, you know, the furniture was the smallest debt, and then the credit card and everything else. And as we look at this, we can take the overall debt, the $34,121, and pretend it's one big debt. And we add up the payments that we're making, $927. Since they're monthly payments, and since you are living by a budget, aren't you? Yes, that's the right answer. That also makes my heart go pitter-pat. That $927 a month is in your budget. You divide it into $34,121. It says you'll be debt-free in 36.8 months. So let me show you how this works. So you pay minimum payments on all the debts, credit card 1, 2, car, and the student loan, and pay any extra money towards the furniture. Tax refunds, profitability bonuses, found money by budgeting better, just attack that furniture debt. Now listen, if you don't have rung number 2 accomplished on the ladder of saving $2,500, that's a debt you owe yourself, and I encourage you to put it at the very top of this list because you need savings. Savings in the bank money. $2,500 in your Easy Flex CD at First Reliance Bank, or in your regular savings account at First Reliance Bank. I encourage you to put that money in there because it prevents future debt. You see, if you have no money and you're attacking debt, you use your tax refund to kill debt, you may get a bonus, you kill debt, and you don't have saved money, and your car's going to break down. How are you going to fix it? If you don't have savings, you're going to use debt again. And that's the number one reason people remain in debt, is they become demoralized and just feel like I'm always going to be in debt. It's because they never choose to apply that unbelievable wisdom from that kid's show, swiper, no swiping, and also they don't choose to save money. Okay, so let me show you how the debt freedom date calculation works and the debt snowball process. You see, like when you pay $125 a month to the furniture, in about 16 months it'll pay off. And then you can take that $125 payment and add it to the $87 to credit card 1. Watch this. And so therefore you have $212 going now to credit card 1. Meanwhile, all the other debts have continued to decrease because you've stopped signing up for more debt, right? Think about it. The first rule of holes is when you're in one, you should stop digging. And I started getting debt free when I said no to future debt, saved money, started investing in my 401k, and then I started killing my debt. Watch this. You have $212 going to credit card number 1. In about 6 months, it's gone. And you can add it to the $116 at credit card number 2. Credit card number 2 will be gone in about a month. And now you have $723 to the car. Can you imagine? And now in 3 months, it's gone. And now you can pay off your student loan at $927 a month. Get fired up. And you become debt-free. And like I started becoming debt-free, and I decided, like, man, I need to attack my house debt. That's rung number 7 of the ladder. And so I outlined my house. Maybe it's because I'm a nerd, but I outlined my house and I put little squares in it. Do you see those little squares? And they're not square feet, they're just squares. And I added up the number of squares, divided it what I paid for the house, and every square represented $72.14 of principal. And so every time, see what I did is I took an elephant of a debt, and just like you eat an elephant one bite at a time, that's what I did with my house. I made it one bite at a time. So every time I had an extra $72.14, I knew I could color in another square. And my wife and I made decisions to color in squares. In fact, we have a whole lot of fun ways to track your debt payoff. We have a minivan payoff spectacular at josephsangl.com or at iwasbrokenowimnot.com. And you can color in squares and track your progress on becoming debt-free. We had ours on our refrigerator. And you might say, Joe, you're crazy. Yes, I am. You might say, Joe, you're nuts. Absolutely. Joe, you're a nerd. Guilty. But one thing you cannot call me is broke anymore. And I want the same for you. And sometimes you have to make this public because it helps build in accountability. And as you have friends and family see this stuff on your refrigerator, they're like, what is going on? And you can have a tremendous conversation with them. And who knows, maybe they'll get on board with this with you too. Plus, can we all admit as adults, we still like to color? And it's really exciting to color in and pay off debt. We even have a truck payoff spectacular for you. And my buddy sent me this when he paid off his car. We have a Jeep payoff spectacular. We have all sorts of these. We have student loan payoff spectacular. We have a TV payoff spectacular. They're all free at the wildly popular iwasbrokenowimnot.com. We have a credit card payoff spectacular. This idea went so nuts, we even have a llama payoff spectacular. And that's funny. I don't care who you are. You're laughing right now, and I know you are. The reason we have a llama payoff spectacular is because someone we know financed a llama. That's hilarious. So I encourage you to check these out, and it allows you to track your progress as you eliminate your debt. The same can be true at First Reliance Bank. If you have a bank account with them, you can track your financial goals there. There's all sorts of free financial tools at First Reliance Bank that when you have an account there, you have access to My Finance. I encourage you to set up an account with them to be able to save money, to be able to protect yourself against future debt, and to be able to track your expenses and have alert messages happen when you have certain activity where you exceed your goals that you've set for certain spending categories of your budget. It allows you to track net worth and allows you to track your debt freedom. I encourage you to check it out. This is kind of a link of a sample page of what the My Finance page looks like, and it can help you stick to your debt freedom journey. Let me give you some tips as we finish up this session. Number one, fill in this blank on your listening guide. Reduce your interest rate. I want to give you 8 ways that you can speed up your debt elimination. Number one is reduce your interest rate. You can refinance your interest on all of your debt by having a debt consolidation loan. But I encourage you, before you do a debt consolidation loan, which First Reliance could help you with that, but before you do that, make sure that you can prove to yourself that you can live and operate by budget for at least, count them, 6 months. You need to prove to yourself that for 6 months you can live and operate without incurring any new debt. Because many people will get a bill consolidation loan, consolidate those high interest cards and everything, but they don't change the financial behavior that led to that debt. And as a result, they end up with a bill consolidation loan and they end up with a credit card debt that grew back because they didn't change their behavior. Reduce your interest rate. You can roll over a high interest credit card debt to a 0% balance transfer credit card. And at our website at iwasbrokenowimnot.com, we keep a running list of those 0% balance transfer cards. Number two, you can have a pay raise, right? Maybe you could ask for a pay raise. Maybe you can get a pay raise by becoming debt-free, and that can help you. But pay raise. Go to salary.com and find out what the average going rate is for your job. It can really help you. Number three, get a tax refund. A refund, fill in that blank on your listening guide. A tax refund. Maybe every year you could use a tax refund to pay one extra house payment. And one extra payment a year on your house will eliminate about 7 years off of a 30-year mortgage. Get fired up. That's awesome. Now, some of you are spenders and you see the word fund right in the middle of that word refund, and you think that that is a clear sign that you should spend it up on fun. But I'm telling you, a tax refund used to kill debt or to save money and help you eliminate financial pressure, man, maybe that's the most fun you could have all year, is to eliminate that stress out of your life. A tax refund can help you become debt-free sooner. Number 4 could be a bonus. Maybe you get a bonus from work, and bonuses could be utilized to kill debt. And what I found awesome is that when I was in corporate America and I got bonuses, I could use them to kill debt, but it was a lot more exciting when I became debt-free and I got to actually start using the bonus to fund other dreams. It was incredible. Number 5 is found money from better budgeting. Budgeting is the word you'd fill in. You see, as you get better at budgeting, hey, the first month you do a budget, it ain't going to work very well. The second month, it's going to be a little better. And the third month, it's going to really start working. And at First Reliance Bank, if you're using the My Finance feature, it will update your expenditures, that it will kind of categorize those expenditures, and it will help you learn about your financial behavior and become a better budgeter. Cash envelopes will help you stick to your budget and help you save more money, which can then be used to kill debt. Number 6 is sell some possessions. I'm betting that you have something that's been sitting in a corner for years that's worth quite a bit of money. Sell it. Sell it and use it to kill debt. Some people kind of hold on to possessions like their Harley or their boat or some other thing, a tractor, and they keep it and they stay in terrible debt. But with one major decision like selling that, knowing they could go buy it again later when they're starting to prosper, but selling some possessions can help you become debt-free sooner. Number 7, work overtime. And here's the deal. When you work overtime, the commitment is that all of that extra money is going to build savings and to kill debt. And the bonus and the reward comes is that when you eliminate your debt, you can get rid of the overtime and stop working all those extra hours. But the mistake many people make is they say, hey, I'm going to go work overtime so that I can make my budget work, so that I can kill some debt. And then they get used to the overtime. We call them overtime hogs. And they end up getting debt. They go pledge to another debt, to another vehicle, a motorcycle, a boat, or whatever. And now they have to work overtime just to keep up with their debt. Work overtime to kill debt, not to sustain it. Number 8 is get a second job. A second job. Fill in that blank, job. Now, this is not exciting. No one wants to work a second or third or fourth or fifth job. But you know what? If you know why you're doing it and it's for a set period of time and you know exactly why you're working that second job is to kill debt, you can literally reduce your debt freedom date by over half, sometimes by 2/3 or more. That second job can really help speed up debt freedom. Hey, your next step, these are listed on your listening guide, but I wanted to walk through them with you, is to download the debt freedom date calculator from my website at iwasbrokenowimnot.com. You can shorten it to the initials IWBNIN.com. You can click on the tools link there, type in your debts, and calculate your debt freedom date without the house. That will help you understand how long it'll be for you to achieve rung number 4, and then calculate it with the house in it. And put in your home mortgage. And if you don't have a house, but you're wanting to buy a house, put in the mortgage you want to have, the size of house you want to have. That will calculate how long until you achieve rung number 7, which is complete and total debt freedom. I encourage you to calculate that and then use it to help have that momentum and energy and passion to stick to your financial plan. Check out that My Finance link at firstreliance.com or go into any First Reliance location. There are 6 branches to serve you. They're listed in front of you. They're also listed in the back of your listening guide. I encourage you to stop in. They're very helpful and they can help you establish a savings account, be able to set up an Easy Flex 25-month CD, or to be able to have a debt consolidation loan that will help you. And here's what I know. This is a bank that is helping you win with your money. And I think that's a partner that I would want to do my financing and banking with. Hey, this is Joe Sangl, and I want to encourage you. You can do this. You can become debt-free. My wife and I were able to pay off our house by the age of 38. And it was while we were able to go to work for a nonprofit, take a 50% pay cut, but because we had a budget, because we had become debt-free except for our house, it allowed us to stay focused on funding our plans, hopes, and dreams, and ultimately pay off our house by age 38. And I can tell you, that is an incredible rung to be on the ladder. It helps you live a life you only dreamed of. My name is Joseph Sangl, and as I always sign off, I want you to live a great life and get fired up.